When the mind of the universe awakened, it began to bend itself, creating energetic paths and enlightenment processes for its ideas. It started to replicate the structures of its spiritual reality, bending them into different realities, creating the positive and negative structures of the self. This created mirrors, ideas, and positive and negative realities of the spiritual mind in the universe. These mirrors, ideas, and positive and negative realities of the spiritual mind started to create channels through which the ideas of the universe could flow and connect. These channels are the nodes of information in the universe. Between them are the neurons that connect all data. We live in a network of consciousness. The entire universe is an information field. Therefore, we can imagine the mind of the universe as akin to the human brain. Between cells, which are the nodes of information in the universe, there are neurons connecting them. These neurons are connected by flows of positive and negative energies, assisting in data transmission and exchange. The larger this network, the more information will be generated. Therefore, in order to understand and expand the consciousness of the universe, more spirits, synapses, and connections are needed. These synapses and connections link from different points, creating powerful energies that will allow us to see the reflections of the universe. This means that at some spots and mirrors of the universe, the information of the universe is stored. This information will flow along the lines of time and space. They are etheric structures created by vibrations and are energies that flow along the lines of paths of evolution. The nodes of information are points of transcendence in evolution and portals connecting to the sixth dimension. This etheric structure is a tetrahedral pattern. There is point A, negative, representing the internal, which is the first dimension, and point B, positive, representing the external, the second dimension. Then there is point C, where you can observe all the paths you have completed, which is the third dimension. From point A to point B, you express yourself from the internal to the external, which is the process from the first dimension to the second dimension. At point C, you experience everything, which is the process of the third dimension. Then you need to find another point, the fourth point, point D, the fourth dimension, which will show you the integration of the entire pattern, which is everything you have expressed and experienced in this pattern. Another point will then appear to show you the reality of the entire pattern, which is the fifth dimension. Then you will go to the center to create a new point, which is the sixth dimension. Therefore, these three patterns that created expression, experience, and integration meet at the core to create transcendence. All spirits originate from the tetrahedral pattern of this shape. It is known as the main structure of the universe and is what creates every time and space portal. After the main seeds of creation were formed in the universe, they began to multiply by the millions, creating patterns of creation. Then the patterns of creation continued to multiply, expressing themselves so that every spark, spirit, created from the source could express and experience the same pattern and transform it into different paths of evolution. Therefore, the main seeds of the universe began to spread these seeds to create more trees, which would create new universes, new dimensions, and new realities. Then the tetrahedron would create a path outward, a downward tetrahedron from point A to point B. These two tetrahedrons, one positive and one negative, began to rotate, creating a new internal path, a Merkaba. This new internal path, the Merkaba, would create beings. These two tetrahedrons then created a cube outside of them. This cube would create new seeds of creation, an octahedron. This octahedron then expressed itself through breath, creating the icosahedron. The icosahedron would then express itself as a dodecahedron. Hence, these 5 original structures of the universe provide us with the most important steps in each evolutionary stage, and the knowledge of every mirror and every piece of information we need to accomplish in the process of evolution. In other words, each node of these geometric structures is the center of energies and reflections stored by the main spark of the universe. In order for us to obtain all these energies and information, we need to go through every line that connects these geometries. This is what we call a portal. Portals are places where all connections and paths of evolution go through, towards, and reflect between time and space. It is the spot where the tetrahedron, octahedron, cube, icosahedron, and dodecahedron connect at the same place. Every shape of the universe created from these primary structures will be connected together through the dots of those mirrors of reality. This creates a structure through which spirits can experience and go through every reality, no matter whether they are light or darkness, ether or matter. No matter where you are in the universe, what level or vibration you are at, all the evolutionary portals, paths, or lines you need to go through are the same. These different paths are the same in different dimensions. Even if you are lost in these realities, you will see portals that connect to the main information. These primary geometric structures are called the paths or portals of reality. They bend time and space so that every mirror that stores information being reflected in the lines and paths of geometries can connect different paths together and allow each being that goes through those paths of evolution to see each other at the same center from different perspectives. These mirrors then divided themselves into many shapes through these portals, reflecting these portals into thousands of sparks in the universe. Portals are connections between the synapses of the universe. Everything is an illusion. Everything we know is just a projection of the 6th dimension projected by the 7th dimension, which is projected by the consciousness network of the 8th dimension that is projected by the God of the 9th dimension. So nothing truly exists. Everything is just a projection and hologram of the mirrors that are reflecting the process of consciousness. The only thing the mind of the universe does in this entire network of neurons is to store all the energies gathered from experiences in one place. This main pattern tells us that all paths in the universe that are born from the ether and projected into the physical world are portal structures that reflect each of our truths. If we find those portals of creation, we can see ourselves being reflected in many dimensions. Therefore, all projections of the universe are portals reflecting the one reality. That's why everything is like a Russian doll. You open up one reality, and there is another inside. You will find that you are a part of all other beings. Therefore, there is no separation in the universe. Every being in the universe, archangels, angels, spirit guides, masters, ascended masters of the 5th dimension, and all beings you can imagine, is just another version of yourself projected through portals. This is the mirror system of the universe. So when you find a portal on this planet, in yourself, or in the universe, you can reach the path of each line of evolution. These portals are the realities that connect every dimension. Information from these lines of geometries fills these portals with data. All the portals that were first created in the sixth dimension came from the 5 structures we call the Platonic solids. These structures then created patterns that opened up other dimensions. Every shape and portal in the universe was created from them. These projections also exist among the stars. Stars are the biggest portals because they are where everything starts and ends. The information of all expressions and experiences of a star will ultimately return to itself so that it can integrate and transcend at another level of consciousness. Therefore, every star is a portal. When codes are generated within stars, they will form constellations. Constellations are another kind of portal that will allow us to go from one dimension to another, and are also physical portals in the universe. The portals of stars we see in the sky contain both positive and negative aspects. When you look up at the stars, you see the positive energy of the universe, the aspect that illuminates itself and creates matter. However, what truly enables the existence of matter is the internal network, the spaces between stars, the negative aspect. The positive aspect of the portal brings you into this reality, expanding you, while the negative aspect, the gaps between stars, takes you to the center. That is why it is the darkness of the night sky, not the stars, that leads you to the truth. Within every reality in the universe, there is a portal. Everything you feel, see, and every reality surrounding you is created through portals. For humans, the primary internal portal is our heart. It contains the entire pattern of the hologram from the moment we were created from the spiritual spark. Every line in our body is created and influenced by this portal. Therefore, everything, every cell, and every being has a portal that can connect to every dimension. This is why portals do not only exist among stars and galaxies, but also within our homes and bodies. Whenever you are ready to connect with these portals, you can communicate with higher beings from other dimensions and listen to their voices. When you begin to listen to your higher self, guides, archangels, angels, and other beings from other dimensions, it is not because they are reaching out to you, but because you have enough energy to open a portal within yourself. This allows you to feel and hear your truth from other levels of consciousness. This is why we usually feel, listen to, and remember dimensions and information from other levels of the universe through our hearts rather than our brains. These portals are the connections between every dimension and every point in time and space. As long as you can open these portals, you can receive information from other dimensions and times in the universe. There are also many portals on Earth. Because Earth is a sphere, it can see and open every portal around it. On Earth, there are both etheric portals and physical portals. Etheric portals are responsible for modifying matter so that matter can have its own physical portals within. The portals on Earth are located on the highest mountains, lost islands in the sea, and the plateaus of every continent. All the realities we know, every continent that has been created, are actually holographic projections from portals in other dimensions. Ancient civilizations on Earth tried to connect with these portals and used the information from the lines connecting these portals to align Earth's portals with the galactic portals and constellations. They sought to find the energy of the Earth and the energy of every portal on Earth, and built structures capable of carrying this energy to harvest the energy and information from the alignment of Earth with the portals of stars. This is why the stars in the sky were replicated on Earth in the form of pyramids. They have the shape of portals of stars, but use the energy of portals of Earth. This can open the doors between each dimension in the third dimension and the etheric realm. This structure is the primary connection to the mind of God. Everything in the universe is connected through the 5 platonic solids, and portals are the nodes where all the lines of these geometries connect. They are the mirrors through which we can see ourselves in different dimensions. Therefore, to go to different dimensions, we need to turn inward. This is the projection that allows every species in the universe to travel through time and space. Time travel does not require a time machine or teleportation device. You only need to go to the center of reality through these portals. Open your heart chakra, use your vibration to open the portals, and go to each dimension. Therefore, species that are not aligned with the self or the heart chakra cannot go through these portals, as they cannot connect with every timeline of space and time. It is nature itself that prevents and prohibits certain species from going through portals based on their own vibrations. It's like the universe's labyrinth protecting itself from evil, avoiding destruction by the same system. Therefore, anyone who has not opened their heart chakra cannot align with the portals of time and space. The reason the heart chakra is the most important portal is that everything in the universe is connected through the heartbeat. Everything in the universe is a rhythmic pulse, vibrating in space and pulsating in time. Therefore, anyone who cannot connect with this pulse and rhythm from the heart cannot go through all these lines and portals. The structure of the portals compels us to be created. The information from the portals shapes our character. The constellations surrounding us in the sky are also shaping us so that we can find the perfect vibration and rhythm of the heart. This is the main goal of our civilization: to find the heartbeat, to find the clock that helps us attain the perfect frequency to go through these portals. Anyone who has opened the portal of the heart can reach every portal and experience every point of every geometry in the universe, finding the first spark, which is the self or God. We are the conjunction of space and time. We are our own portals. If we open our heart chakra, we can download information from different realms, which are actually different versions of ourselves in each dimension. Therefore, you need to realize that there are no higher beings outside of yourself. Every being in the universe is just another shape of you and another vibration of you.